You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Brian Kelly spoke to ESPN today, and Brian Kelly was part of the contingent last week that went up to Washington, D.C., contingent of SEC coaches along with Nick Saban and others. And their whole sort of objective was to lobby Congress for federal NIL legislation. And so after that trip, Brian Kelly spoke to ESPN today. He said, quote, college athletics is at a crossroad if this doesn't get fixed. He questioned California's proposed bill, which would require profit sharing with athletes on revenue-producing sports. There's a lot going on. And essentially, each state is generating its own NIL legislation to benefit the schools in its state, and everybody's different, so there are some perceived and literal competitive advantages. Do you know one thing, though? Whenever you think about the people who've been critical of NIL, for whatever reason, state, federal law, whatever it is, I mean, you just Google criticism of NIL. Deion Sanders criticizes NIL contracts. Missouri coach crushed for his comments about NIL. Nick Saban's warning about NIL. Jim Boeheim criticizes NIL. Jimbo Fisher, Eli Drinkwitz criticizing NIL. Lane Kiffin renews criticism of NIL. SEC coach bashes NIL deals. That's a baseball coach. Urban Meyer, strong criticism of NIL. Mike Krzyzewski on criticism of NIL. What do all those people have in common? All the names I just read to you, what do they have in common? Buse, what do all the names that I just read have in common?
They're old.
Yes. Eli Drinkwitz, however, not old.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry, I didn't hear Eli. That's my fault.
What broader, the thing that all of those people, Nick Saban, Brian Kelly, Jimbo Fisher, Eli Drinkwitz, Mike Krzyzewski, Jim Boeheim, what do they do?
They coach.
Yeah, they're all coaches. You know who never criticizes NIL ever? Ever? Like, do you know what group of people you have never once read an article ever or heard a story or a quote ever of a group of people criticizing NIL? You know what group that is?
It's the players.
The players. Stunning, right? The people that make the money are cool with it. The people that are affected by them making the money are the ones like, we need legislation, federal legislation, we're ruining college athletics. And the players are like, what? Huh? Wait, I'm sorry. What's ruining what? Who's got an unfair hoojimaflaji? Come again? Somebody ruining bad? What did I hear there? Because all I know is I keep getting money in my bank account. I'm gonna say it again. You want to know why I'm so staunchly in favor of NIL? Because it benefits student athletes. The only people walking the face of planet Earth that are negatively impacted by NIL are millionaire coaches who have a harder time now recruiting and managing their rosters. Forgive me, I have no sympathy for you, millionaire coach, who now has a harder time managing your roster. Deal with it. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.